You have had to be strong in the face of a few who would tell you that you can't read what you want to read, that you can't speak what you want to speak, that you should get in line with an ideology that is not yours, and call that freedom?
That was civil rights activist Maya Wiley last night addressing the graduating class of New College in Florida as the keynote speaker for the alternative commencement ceremony that students put together to protest Governor Ron DeSantis' hostile takeover of their school. New College has become sort of emblematic of the governor's war on woke, which extends to the college curriculum, its teaching staff, its board of trustees, and even its official commencement speaker this year, Trump COVID advisor Dr. Scott Atlas. Joining us now is Maya Wiley. She's an attorney, a college professor, and the president and CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. Maya, it is great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's so good to be with you, Alex. You're doing amazing coverage.
Well, you're doing amazing things, too. What is it like down at New College right now as the walls have started closing in, the governor's hostile takeover is in effect, and the students are trying every lever they can to push back?
Well, I think it's that last point. What I felt so clearly down there in the conversations I was having with the students, with the faculty, with the staff, with the parents, it's all the same thing. Anger.
Yeah.
Fear. Right? A recognition that there are costs and powerful people who can exact those costs because they want to stand up for their school. But there is such a determination of protecting what they love. And what they love is this amazing college where the faculty, the staff, the whole principle of the school is to create a community that now enables students to inquire, to ask questions, to find themselves in the most important and central ways to what higher education is supposed to be, and to create a community, because they are a community. Yeah. They support each other. And that was so palpable. And it was so clear to me that they were not giving up. The students were telling me they're joining their alumni associations. The alumni are actively involved in protecting what they love about this college. And it was inspiring.
Yeah, I just have to take a moment to sort of try and wrap my arms around the ridiculousness of the two ceremonies. Not that yours was ridiculous, but here you are, the students' chosen representative to send them off in their graduation, and somehow Dr. Scott Atlas, Trump's COVID-denying chief scientist during the pandemic, is the representative that is handpicked by the DeSantis allies to speak to the students. I mean, do you have any sense of how and why this individual was chosen? Was it literally just to own the libs at the school, like pick the most vehemently, oppositional figure we can and throw him in there for graduation? I mean, what exactly was that? And what was the feeling of the students that this was being forced down?
Well, I mean, I think for I can only say what the students I spoke with, what they thought of it, and they thought it was a slap in the face, and yet another example of an attempt to indoctrinate them, right? That if this was actually about them, if this was actually about their academic careers, what they'd done, what they were going to go off into and do in the world, all the things we expect from a graduation ceremony, instead it was a political statement. And I think that's the way they received it. And it was one that was not even based in science for them. Right. And so it was a slap in the face, and they weren't having it.
The reason I think both you and I are so animated by what's happening down at New College is because it is, yes, a gripping, wrenching story of people fighting against an oppressive regime that's trying to take over and stifle their voices and thinking. It is also representative of this broader battle that we're having in the United States. Ron DeSantis is likely to announce he is running for president next week. He has publicly said that Florida should be a model for the rest of the country. I believe it is Make America Florida Again. For people who know what this man has done and is doing and what his proposals are and everything from immigration to LGBTQ rights to race, I mean, how distressing is this to you? And is there one part of his agenda that is more poisonous in your mind than others?
Well, let's just say I quoted George Orwell in 1984 as part of my address, because we also had a federal judge call the laws that are being passed the Stop Woke Act, the attack on being able to teach our history right in our schools, our history of racism and discrimination. Quoted Orwell. It is dystopian, but this is the point. Other states are copying it.
Yeah.
And they're saying you can't say gay in schools. You can't, all the winds, Florida's going all the way through 12th grade. A lot of the students at New College are LGBTQ and have found their voice and found themselves and their path there. So to be in a state that's saying you can't do that, you can't allow, even in some instances, the book bannings of material that include LGBTQ, that include protagonists or major characters are black. That's almost 80% of all books that have been banned across the United States in the past few years are LGBTQ or people of color content. It is literally being inscribed in law now. 18 states saying you can't teach critical race theory, which is just another way of saying we can stop you from sharing the truth about a painful history and its implications for today to students who are supposed to be learning American history. That this is actually about controlling how people think and what they read, and whether or not they are getting to understand the experiences of other people. This is central to a plural democracy, and it is being taken away by law. 12 states are now following Florida on Don't Say Gay. This is centrally important to understand as a threat to democracy, is academic freedom and controlling our young people.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, he is making America Florida.